Most people I've heard from about this topic seem to think that attractive introverts actually get a lot of attention, but I do relate to this myself. But the people who say this forget an important thing. We're introverts. A lot of us are very socially anxious. I definitely am, or I was. I mean, I still am, but I've grown since the experiences that I'm going to talk about from high school. I didn't really physically glow up until my last 2 years of high school. And that's when I really noticed the increase in attention I was getting. Mostly from girls who were pursuing me as a guy. Problem is that I didn't really know how to respond to all of these situations. And you know, there were times that I didn't really want to either. I just wanted to be by myself, or I didn't really want my life to change too drastically if I ever pursued any of this myself. I mean, yeah, I ultimately knew that a relationship was not realistic for my mental state at the time, so I made sure to keep that in mind anytime I was approached for this sort of thing. Many times I was immediately asked for my number or social media. They didn't try to initiate any normal conversation to start. I mean, most of these girls I never even spoke to myself, because they would just send their friends to ask for them. And that happened so many times. Like, it actually got annoying. And you know, I mean, I get that's the thing that people do, but I don't really work that way. Of the several times that I was, you know, approached like that, or for this, really only 3 girls did it in a way that I found to be much more appropriate. I'll only talk about 2 of these cases for reasons that I will not get into. So the first time, I was approached by a girl who had been in one of my science classes. I never really knew her. I mean, we had been in that class together for months by this time, but she was an introvert like me. She just gave me a note on paper very quickly one day, which is the classic, you know. I feel like that happens a lot in like TV shows and movies, but no one actually get to experience that myself in this day and age. I mean, obviously it probably happened back then, but that's besides the point. But, you know, I read through that note, and yeah, she asked for my number on that. You know, she told me that she thought I was cute, and then she wanted my number. Now, yeah, that was off-putting to me right off the bat. You might be wondering, how is that any different from the other times? Well, this is because it's on a paper note, and it's from a girl that's actually in one of my classes. But anyway, I responded politely on the same paper because, you know, I'm introverted as hell, or I was. I gave it back to her. Now, this whole thing could be like one video itself, so I'm just gonna say, I mean, it was like a whole back and forth for like 2 weeks. She started leaving snacks at my desk, and it sort of felt like bribes to me. But it just got to a point that I was sort of like terrified of what would happen the next day. You know, what was she gonna try to do? How would I respond? I had no idea. It was very clear that she was trying to get with me. Yeah, maybe I was fine with just being friends with this person because I didn't really have any friends at the time. So that's something that I would have preferred. But, you know, it wasn't really going that way. And I just had to start ignoring her. I mean, I felt bad, but The months went by and I never saw her again after that school year ended. Well, maybe I could have had a friendship. It was not only her mistakes, but also my own failure to communicate, my thoughts and feelings. I still try to forget all of that even happened, because, man, it's just... Now, the other time I want to talk about, I was just sitting at lunch one day outside, pretty usual for me. I wasn't in my usual spot, though, on this day. I can't remember exactly why. But then this one girl approached me, and to be honest, she was barely... She was sort of in my peripheral vision, off to my side, when she said, "Hey, I like your outfit." And she quickly walked away before I could give a response, but I didn't, because I didn't even know she was talking to me. It's not like she tapped me on the shoulder or anything. She was just off to my side. She could have been talking to somebody behind me or something. I just didn't know for sure. And I saved myself the embarrassment. I only came to this realization that she was actually talking to me that one time, because, I was starting to notice that she just would not stop looking at me when she wanted to, and I hardly would look back. Now, the way I knew that she was looking at me a lot, because, I could tell from my peripheral vision, and I have to admit, I thought in my own mind that she was attractive, but I was lacking a lot in my social life, and around this time I wasn't doing well mentally, again. But nothing ever really happened with that whole thing, and it just died off eventually, like with the other girl. I failed to communicate again. And maybe it was for the better, because I was suspecting that she was a freshman at the time when I was a more mature upperclassman closer to leaving high school. Despite that, though, I am still a bit surprised that she did not immediately ask for my phone number like the other girls, and she actually wanted to have a conversation. But again, this could have been another potential friendship ultimately if I just communicated, but I failed. So yeah, my point is that, physically attractive introverts, they do get more attention, but I definitely think that many of them fall flat when it comes to social interaction. And we can feel just as isolated as any introvert because of that, regardless of conventional attractiveness. So that's all I wanted to talk about.